Our intellectual freedom is at risk. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this as much as I have, but our online presence, our online atmosphere has become very aggressive, very violent, very polarized. Cancel culture was on the rise. I'm not sure if it's declining, but cancel culture, political correctness, polarizing, violent, aggressive online debates, discussions, harsh judgments, criticism, and dismissing different opinions and perspectives have become very prevalent, very obvious in not only our online presence, but in real life as well. I think there are a few different reasons that have accumulated over the past few years that have really put our intellectual freedom at risk. I think the biggest reason is ironically the presence of the internet and online platforms. In the beginning, internet and social media platforms and online spaces were opportunities for us as humans to connect, to discuss different perspectives, to discuss different opinions, to express ourselves, to feel seen and heard. But social media algorithms have been tailored in such a way that we no longer welcome different perspectives and different opinions. The social media algorithms are designed to show us what we will watch, what we like, right? The social media algorithms are designed to figure out what your worldview is, to figure out what your perspective is, to figure out what you like and dislike, what you value, and to show you things that are in alignment with those. They could show you things that are out of alignment with their worldview, but we've been so accustomed to seeing the things we like online that whenever an opposing worldview, whenever a different perspective or opinion is shown to us, because we're not used to seeing that, we have a stronger reaction to it. We have a stronger negative reaction to the things that we don't align with. And I think that's very dangerous because we are supposed to be exchanging different opinions, ideas, and perspectives to learn and grow, to be more open-minded and accepting of different realities, to accept different opinions, to learn more about the world, and to realize that your reality, your opinions, your worldview isn't the only one that exists. It isn't the only valid one. So only seeing the things you align with and very occasionally coming across the things you don't align with, it's creating this polarization. It's creating this disconnect between people. And when you're negatively reacting to something you don't align with, you're preventing yourself from learning about new perspectives, different opinions, different realities. And I think social media algorithms are also influencing the worldview that you have by slowly showing you things that the algorithm thinks you should align with. So I think that's why there's a bigger and bigger disconnect between men and women. It will slowly start to influence your worldview and turn it into something more extreme. The social media algorithm, I find, is creating more polarizing perspectives, more polarizing worldviews, depending on what it thinks you would like, what it thinks you will be more inclined to think. I think social media algorithms have created that kind of extreme mindset that even if you're not that type of man, like if you like watching Formula One or like car related videos, then the social media algorithm is like, you're a man, so let's slowly direct you to what you should be watching, which is more extreme, unhealthy, mindsets and attitudes and perspectives. Not to say those aren't valid, but like I think the social media algorithm has really made things black and white in terms of mindsets and worldviews. Like they are no longer in line with reality. I think the social media algorithms are against the gray area that most people are on. It's easier to fall prey to the algorithm's influence, and I think that's really dangerous for our intellectual freedom. And I think we see the effects of the polarizing and extreme social media algorithms and worldviews. I think we see that reflected into our politics. I think we see the effects of these polarizing, extreme online personalities in our politics in most countries around the world. Another reason why I think we are putting our intellectual freedom at risk is that we are becoming more and more chronically online. We've started to isolate ourselves socially in reality, in the real physical world. We've started to socialize less. We don't have the real human connections that generations before us used to have. And not socializing with the real world, with real people face to face, is preventing us from coming across those different perspectives, those different realities, those different mindsets that we don't have. So I think being chronically online and socially isolating ourselves by not socializing as much in the real world, we have started to dehumanize the people we come across online. And we've also started to dehumanize people we see in real life. We don't see differing realities, different opinions as valid anymore. We no longer see different humans as valid humans, if that makes sense. We are dehumanizing ourselves. We are denying ourselves the opportunities to learn and grow from different people, from different perspectives. They're very valid opinions and thoughts and worldviews. And by doing so, by being so polarized and extreme and hostile towards different opinions and experiences and thoughts and beliefs and worldviews, we end up denying ourselves the freedom to express ourselves. When we criticize or disrespect or attack people online or in the real world for having a different perspective, for having a different set of beliefs, we are denying ourselves that freedom to express ourselves. We end up denying ourselves our intellectual freedom. If we deny the intellectual freedom of others, if we disrespect them, if we deny their experiences, if we deny their right to express themselves and share their perspective, we are denying intellectual freedom for everybody, including ourselves. We are creating unsafe spaces to live and express ourselves. And regardless of what you believe, regardless of your experiences and worldviews and opinions, if you wish to express yourself in a safe space, if you wish to take up space, if you wish to be yourself and be authentic, if you wish to be accepted for who you are, for your beliefs, for your thoughts, for your opinions, if you truly wish to express yourself freely, then you have to value the intellectual freedom of everybody. You have to value and respect and accept the intellectual freedom everyone has the right to. You have to respect and accept that different opinions and beliefs and experiences and realities and worldviews exist. You don't have to agree with them, but you have to accept that they will always exist, and you have to accept that they are just exercising their right to intellectual freedom. We don't want to reach the point where intellectual freedom is only given if you have a certain set of beliefs, if you only have a certain perspective and worldview. because that is not intellectual freedom. If we try to limit what we can express, what we can share with the world, that is not intellectual freedom. I don't think anyone wants to live in a world where there's heavy restriction on what you can say, what you can think, what you can express, what you can share. I don't think anybody wants to live in a very heavily censored reality where intellectual freedom doesn't exist. I don't think anyone wants to reach that point where we have been in the past. When we go online, we want to connect. We want to feel a sense of comfort and safety. Most people, when they go online with the intention to connect with other people. Social media is for connecting with other people. And if we create an unsafe space online, we are defeating the purpose of having an online space. Because we want to feel comfortable, we want to feel safe, exploring and expressing ourselves online. So if we want the internet, social media, and the real world to be safe spaces, it starts by respecting everyone. And it starts by respecting everyone's self-expression, by respecting everyone's beliefs, experiences, realities, worldviews. As long as they don't actively harm anyone. Like, as long as they're not harming anyone, you should be respecting them. Well, that's kind of... As long as people aren't harming anyone by expressing themselves, you have to respect them. And now you can say, well, they are harming my emotional well-being by being disrespectful to me, so why can't I be disrespectful to them? Why do I have to be the respectful one? Why do I have to be the one to respect others when they're not respecting me? Respect has to start somewhere. And if you're not the one to do it, if you're not the one to respect the other person, who's going to respect anybody? Like, who's going to respect people if you expect people to respect you in order to respect them? We need to stop the disrespect somewhere. And if you're watching this video, you probably have the capacity to respect other people. You probably want intellectual freedom. You can, of course, engage in healthy discussion, healthy debate online or in the real world with someone or multiple people, as long as they're open to it. I see in the comment section, like, someone expresses their opinion and then as a response to that comment, there's like hundreds of aggressive, negative reactions. And that's not conducive to healthy discussion. That's not conducive to healthy debates. If someone is reacting that aggressively to you expressing your opinion, to your desire to have a healthy discussion, to have a debate, you just have to accept that that person isn't open to new ideas or new opinions or different beliefs. And you have to move on. You have to stop engaging with aggressive and stubborn people like that. So if someone insists on being disrespectful and misunderstanding your intentions online or in the real world, then you have to peacefully leave them be. You have to peacefully distance yourself from them. Respectfully, just leave them to their own aggression. Leave them be. How can we foster safer spaces? How can we reinforce intellectual freedom? How can we be more open-minded and accepting of different opinions and perspectives? I think it comes down to not scrolling away and intentionally trying to understand different opinions, different beliefs. So let's say you're scrolling on a social media platform and you come across a video that you don't really resonate with. You come across someone that you don't agree with 100%. Your knee-jerk reaction might be to scroll away. But what if you didn't scroll away? What if you tried to really listen to the entire video and really try to understand where they're coming from. Really try to understand their context, their experiences, their reality. So if we can be more open to different experiences, different perspectives, different beliefs online, when social media algorithms decide to show us something new, I think that will translate to safer online spaces and safer real world spaces where we can be more open-minded and accepting and respectful towards different people with different experiences and realities. And we also need to actively voice our opinions in a respectful manner. We shouldn't hide ourselves. We shouldn't stop expressing ourselves out of fear of criticism, judgment, hate, violence, aggression. As long as we keep it respectful, we should voice our opinions. Online, in the real world, in politics, in policy making, everywhere. Do not stop yourself from speaking out of fear. If you're too scared to voice your own opinions, if you're too scared to use your own voice, you are reinforcing the hostile environments that we're creating. You're reinforcing the censorship, the lack of intellectual freedom. So if you want to foster intellectual freedom, if you want to foster safe spaces, don't be scared to express yourself. As long as you're not harming anyone, as long as you're respectful, keep speaking up, keep respecting others. Be a role model for what a safe person looks like, what an intellectually free and respectful person looks like. Create the safe space you want to see, online and face-to-face. And vote for intellectual freedom. Vote for policies that reinforce intellectual freedom. Our intellectual freedom is at risk, but as long as we intentionally and actively foster safe spaces for self-expression, for intellectual freedom, our intellectual freedom can't be taken away. I hope I've inspired you to be more aware of intellectual freedom and the importance of creating safe spaces online and face-to-face in person. Intellectual freedom is just as important as physical freedom. What's the point of being physically free if you cannot be intellectually free? That's living in a mental cage. Why create mental cages for ourselves? Disclaimer, these are just my observations. These are just my opinions. So I don't have any intention of disrespecting or judging or criticizing anyone for their own opinions, their own perspectives. The whole point of this video is to foster safe spaces to express yourself, your opinions. So I respect any opinion that you would have. I'm not here to disrespect or criticize or judge you in any way. I'm not saying you're a bad person for arguing or voicing your own opinions. You should definitely voice your own opinions. You should definitely speak up. What I'm saying is we need to be creating safe spaces for us to speak up. We need to be creating safe spaces for everyone to express themselves, regardless of opinion, regardless of belief, regardless of whatever you want to say. I'm not saying that there's one right way to express yourself. I'm not saying that you should express yourself this way and not this way. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we need to be more mindful. We need to be more aware of the type of space we're creating by how we're speaking, how we're reacting, how we're voicing our opinions. So that's all that I'm saying. So please don't misunderstand. And that applies to me too. I'm not excluding myself from what I'm saying. That's all I have to say for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. If you liked my video, please consider watching other videos of mine. Please consider subscribing to my channel. That would really help, and I would be so grateful. Please take care of yourself. Please be kind to yourself. Please be kind to others. Let's actively and intentionally create safe spaces for us to just be. All right. I'll see you later. Bye.